Hospitals are supposed to be the safest place on earth, the one place where you hand over your life and trust that the people in white coats want you to survive. Jessica Monroe believed that. She believed in doctors, medicine, healing, until the night she learned that her trust could be worth more than her heartbeat. Because Jessica woke up during surgery, strapped to a table, unable to scream, staring into the eyes of the surgeon who wasn't trying to save her at all. He was harvesting her. Her fear was the only sound she could make as she lay conscious beneath bright surgical lights, realizing the man holding the scalpel wasn't a healer. He was a criminal selling human organs on the black market. Tonight, you will hear a story that proves the most terrifying place in this world is the one where you thought you were safe. Cedar Heights Hospital glowed like a watchtower in the night. Even from the parking lot, its neon signs felt like a soft promise. Come inside. We will take care of you. For 28-year-old librarian Jessica Monroe, that promise shattered in a single night. She lived a quiet life in Portland, Oregon. Favorite sweater, favorite tea, long evenings reading to kids at the library. She never imagined she could become the center of a crime colder than the deepest winter night. It started with pain, a sharp bolt in her abdomen that struck out of nowhere. She tried to push through it at first. She told herself it was something she ate, stress, fatigue, anything normal, anything safe. Then she collapsed. Her neighbor found her on the floor, curled in agony, and rushed her to the ER. Inside the bright hallways, nurses moved fast, beeping machines, rushed forms, questions drowning in panic. That's when he walked in, Dr. Adrian Cole, the kind of doctor everyone trusted. Polished, confident, a smile designed to make fear disappear. "You're going to be all right," he said gently. "I'll take good care of you." She believed him. Why wouldn't she? Her last sight before anesthesia took hold was his reassuring face, his hand on her shoulder, his voice promising safety. She breathed out relief and let herself drift under, trusting him, trusting medicine, trusting the system. None of them deserved that trust. Darkness, thick, heavy, then a distant buzzing. Voices like whispers behind a wall. Jessica's eyelids fluttered. Harsh lights stabbed through the shadows. She felt pressure, cold instruments touching her, movement in her body where no one should ever feel movement. Her arms wouldn't move, her mouth wouldn't scream, her brain was awake, but her body was locked in a prison made of paralysis. Her terror spilled from her in trembling tears. Through the surgical drape, she saw eyes staring back at her. Dr. Cole. Only this time, no warmth, no comfort, no humanity. "She's supposed to be under," he snapped. A man in black scrubs leaned over her IV, adjusting something. Not a nurse, not anyone she'd seen before. "We have buyers waiting," he whispered. "Move faster." Buyers, not patients. Buyers. Jessica understood the nightmare instantly. They weren't saving her. They were dismantling her, piece by piece, part by part. Her heart monitor began screaming alarm into the room. Dr. Cole muted it with one angry tap. He leaned close enough for her to see every dark intention in his eyes. "You should not be awake." Jessica tried to scream against the drug weighting her tongue. The sound came out as a broken breath. "Help me!" No one helped. Not the man in black scrubs. Not the others who refused to look at her. Every second she stayed awake, she felt a piece of her life slipping further away. Outside the surgical wing, Jessica's older sister Rachel paced restlessly. Her nerves prickled with a feeling she couldn't explain, a whisper inside her ribs that something was wrong, very wrong. She tried getting an update. The desk staff brushed her off. "Surgery's in progress. Everything is fine. Please wait." Rachel didn't feel fine. Waiting didn't feel safe. Nurse Porter noticed her distress and offered to check the system. Records showed something impossible. Jessica was already in surgery, but no anesthesia report had been logged. The nurse's face drained pale. That cannot be correct. Rachel didn't hesitate. She stormed toward the surgical doors, Nurse Porter following close behind. She pounded on the metal lock, screaming for her sister, screaming for someone to open up, screaming loud enough to break the silence Jessica was trapped in.
Inside the OR, panic broke the surgeon's mask of confidence. "Clues are up," Dr. Cole barked. "We don't have time." They scrambled, wiping away the signs of what they were doing. Sutures, gauze, sterile lies. The door unlocked. Rachel rushed inside to see her sister limp on the table, machines beeping rhythmically like nothing had ever gone wrong. "What happened to her?" Rachel demanded. Dr. Cole wore fake calm like a second skin. "She experienced complications. Everything is under control." Rachel didn't believe him, but Jessica needed stability now, not a fight. She watched helplessly as they wheeled her away. Jessica woke 2 days later, pain still burning in the place where hands and steel had trespassed. Detective Liam Garrett entered her room with careful empathy. He asked what she remembered. Her voice trembled as she told him everything: the waking, the scalpel, the buyers, the betrayal. The detective believed her, but belief wasn't evidence. The hospital defended their doctor. Cameras malfunctioned. Records aligned. His procedure notes were perfect. Jessica's trauma was being erased on paper, her nightmare told to a world built on denial. Still, Detective Garrett kept digging. Anonymous messages reached him. "Follow the money. Count the missing organs. Toll has partners." The more he learned, the more powerful this criminal network appeared. Rich buyers, corrupt facilitators, doctors willing to sell life for cash. Jessica's testimony became a threat to them, and they wanted that threat silenced. Jessica left the hospital alive, but not safe. Threats slithered into every corner of her life. A shadowed figure across the street, a break-in with nothing stolen, chilling texts that said, "You should have died." Yet she refused to disappear into fear. She kept speaking. She demanded justice, not just for herself, but for others who never woke up in time to beg for their lives. 1 week later, Dr. Adrian Cole vanished. His home was empty, his accounts cleared, his name washed clean from every system. He slipped into the darkness like he never existed, like the hospital itself helped him vanish, like the world would rather lose evidence than admit monsters can wear stethoscopes.
Jessica still carries the scar, not just on her abdomen, but in her trust, in her sleep, in every echoing beep of a machine in the night. Because the doctor who tried to sell her life is still out there, smiling, charming, waiting for the next emergency. Hospitals are supposed to heal you. Jessica learned they can also hunt you. 2 weeks after escaping death on the operating table, she returned home to a life that barely fit anymore. Every knock on her door made her heart spike. Every unfamiliar face in public made her stomach clench. Trauma had rewired her instincts into alarms. Her mother, Elaine, tried so hard to hold her together. Home-cooked meals, soft blankets, constant checking in. The worry lived behind her mother's eyes like a shadow that wouldn't go away. And then there was Ethan, 15 years old, Jessica's little brother. The kid who once saw the world as a place full of promise, not predators. He sat quietly by her bedside most nights, pretending to scroll his phone, pretending not to watch her breathing, pretending he wasn't terrified she might slip away while he blinked. Jessica hated being a reason for fear. She told them she was ready to move forward. She wasn't. Not when Dr. Cole still breathed free air. Detective Garrett called one afternoon. There's been another case. Jessica's hand froze around her coffee mug. Same hospital, same missing anesthesia logs, same doctor listed as attending, except his login was used by someone else. They're covering for him. Jessica's pulse thudded in her ears. "How many?" she whispered. "Too many." He drove her to the police station. A wall of victims awaited her. Photographs, files, cold statistics. People who went into surgery for routine procedures and never woke up. Their organs missing. Their families given lies. A sickening realization formed in Jessica's chest. I wasn't his first, and I wouldn't have been his last. Garrett nodded grimly. You were the first to wake up. The media got wind of her story. News vans outside her house. Headlines labeling her, the woman who survived the organ harvester. She didn't want fame. She wanted safety. She wanted justice. She wanted sleep that didn't come drenched in panic. Dr. Cole became a ghost. No financial trail, no travel records, no digital footprint. He disappeared immaculate, which meant someone powerful wanted him to.
Late one evening, when the October air tasted like winter coming early, Jessica found a note shoved under the front door. It contained one sentence. "Why didn't you let me finish my work?" Her breath stuttered. She swallowed the scream rising from her throat. Her mom found her standing frozen, paper trembling in her hands. That night, alarms were installed. The police increased drive-by patrols. Jessica slept with a lamp on, wrapped in blankets like armor. Still, she dreamed of cold steel, surgical lights, and silent men calculating her price. Detective Garrett pushed deeper into Dr. Cole's life. He discovered secret flight logs, shady financial networks, connections to foreign donors, a black market syndicate bigger than the hospital, maybe bigger than the police. Garrett warned Jessica, "The more we uncover, the more dangerous he becomes." Jessica didn't back down. She agreed to help identify accomplices. She met with investigators. She told her horrifying story again and again until her voice turned to glass. The FBI stepped in. Suddenly, this wasn't just a case. It was a war. Jessica returned home from a late-night interview with the FBI. Rain slicked the streets. Wind rattled branches like skeletal fingers. She unlocked her front door. "Mom? Ethan?" she called softly. No answer. The living room lamp flickered, then clicked off. Darkness swallowed the house. Her breath hitched. Then she heard it. A phone vibrating on the floor. Ethan's phone. Screen cracked, back casing smeared with something dark. No family should ever see that. Jessica staggered back, heart hammering like it wanted out of her chest. Her own phone buzzed. Unknown number. Hands shaking, she answered. A familiar voice slithered through the speaker. "You lived, so they will pay instead." "Please, don't," Jessica choked out. "You were supposed to die that night, Jessica. You still owe us what was taken." The call ended. Silence heavier than death filled the air.
She dropped to her knees, terror strangling her lungs. Red and blue lights flashed outside moments later. Police, FBI, chaos. Detective Garrett sprinted in. What happened? Where are they? Jessica held up Ethan's phone and her voice cracked open. He has them. Detective Garrett's jaw tightened. He called it in, full alert. From that moment, Jessica wasn't just a victim. She was bait in a battle she never asked for.
Jessica didn't cry. Not at first. Terror froze every tear inside her. Her mother and brother were gone, stolen as leverage. Her nightmare wasn't over. It had only changed shape. Detective Garrett stayed by her side while the FBI mobilized. A command center formed around Jessica's living room. Screens lit up with maps, bank routes, airport logs. Then a message came through, encrypted, address only. Midland Industrial Zone, Building 47, 3 a.m. That was less than 2 hours. Garrett grabbed his vest. We move now. Jessica grabbed his arm. I'm coming. He hesitated. You're the target. They want you. That's exactly why I have to be there. He saw the fire in her eyes. Fear sharpened into something harder. He nodded. Stay close. Don't break from the team. No hero moves. Jessica didn't promise anything. The convoy rolled through the darkest edges of Portland. Factories abandoned, windows shattered like broken teeth. A place where screams had no audience. Building 47 stood alone beneath a dying streetlight. Every instinct told Jessica to run the other way. Her legs carried her forward anyway. Inside smelled like metal and old blood. Surgical trays, bright lamps, cold tables, a homemade operating room. She froze. This wasn't a rescue mission. It was a continuation of the nightmare. A door opened. Her mother and Ethan were tied to gurneys, tape across their mouths, eyes soaked in terror. She lurched forward. A gunshot cracked the air. She fell to her knees. Dr. Adrian Cole stepped out from the shadows. The same steady smile, the same sterile confidence. Always stronger than I expected, he said softly. Jessica's breath shook with rage. You can take me, just let them go. He chuckled. Still believing your life has value. That's adorable. He snapped his fingers. 2 masked men grabbed her, forcing her toward a third table. Cole lowered his voice to a whisper that chilled bone. You woke up last time. You will not wake up again.
The drug needle bit her arm. Her vision blurred, sound warped. She fought the darkness like a drowning swimmer. Not again, not like this. Through the haze, she saw Garrett and FBI agents breach the room. Gunfire exploded. Shouts filled the laboratory. Jessica's restraints shook loose in the chaos. A scalpel clattered to the floor near her hand. Her body weak, her will stronger. Cole grabbed Ethan, pressing a blade to his throat. Step back, or he dies. Everyone froze. Jessica didn't. She rose, shaking, barefoot, bleeding. Let him go, she said, voice breaking into fury. This ends with me. Cole grinned. That's the plan. He lunged. Jessica reacted on instinct. Steel flashed. A scream tore from his mouth. She had driven the scalpel into his side. He staggered, releasing Ethan, eyes wide with betrayal. You, he gasped, you were supposed to be asleep. Jessica forced herself forward, inches from collapse. I woke up. Agents swarmed Cole.
He hit the floor, weapon kicked away, hands bound. Ethan and Elaine rushed into Jessica's arms. For one suspended heartbeat, she felt victory. Real, precious victory. Then her knees buckled. Blood soaked her gown. The drugs still churned through her veins like poison. Garrett caught her as she fell. "You're safe," he promised. Jessica managed a faint smile. "No," she whispered. "I'm free." Her eyes drifted closed. The hospital monitors beeped steadily. Jessica lay bandaged, resting beneath soft lights. This time, a real nurse, a real doctor, a real chance. Elaine held her hand. Ethan slept in a chair beside her, snoring softly. Detective Garrett stood at the foot of the bed. "Cole is alive," he said gently. "After trial, he will never hurt anyone again." Jessica stared at the ceiling. Relief, mixed with something heavier. "I don't want him to die. I want him to remember that the girl he tried to cut apart is the one who destroyed his empire." Garrett nodded, deeply moved. "You did more than survive, Jessica. You fought back." When Jessica finally walked out of the hospital, the sun was rising. Warm light spilled across her face. For the first time in weeks, she felt air that didn't taste like fear. She lifted her shirt slightly. Her scar caught the sunlight. Proof she was targeted. Proof she lived. Proof she won. Most people spend their lives trusting the system. Jessica spent hers tearing it open and uncovering the monsters inside. Some scars don't mark weakness. They mark victory. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. Also, leave your comments for more shocking crime vaults.